Hi, welcome to my drama channel where I put all my drama here, away from my positive content. So, I want to say, please don't harass anybody and act like a decent human being and be nice to everybody. Because that's all I'm asking for, please. Also, this is based on my opinion. I am not hating anyone. So, if you don't like this video, then don't watch it. Anyways, without further ado, let's watch it.
Just when I think I've seen it all, I've heard it all. I mean, I've been doing YouTube full time for about 4 years, 4.5. I truly thought I've seen it all, but no, there's always someone freakier to come along. And guys, we found it. So there's this YouTuber slash Twitch streamer who goes by Nyara. I think that's how you pronounce it. In my opinion, they're legitimately one of the freakiest VTubers out there. Now, for the longest time, I thought VTubers were freaks. I thought they were weirdos. I thought they were degenerates. But then I realized, oh, that's just a stigma. It's not real. Not every VTuber is a degenerate. Some of them are chill. I mean, just look at this one right here.
Jump!
Right. There is a boy.
Who's this?
Oh, stupid
Oh.
bitch.
As you can see from their videos, they're pretty trans-oriented, if you will. They talk about this trans, which, you know, I don't care. It's your content. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I mean,
Doesn't have an issue and a little freaky when you want to get kids involved into your world. And before we really get into it, I just want to say this. I don't hate trans people, okay? I really don't hate anyone. I only hate people that don't subscribe to my channel and drop a like. That's like my biggest ops. But besides that, I have no problem with trans individuals. I have no problem with, well, anyone really.
Same for me. I have no problem with anybody. If it involves a child, that's where I draw the line, alright? If a transgender is aiming for a child, I will call you out. I don't support that kind of action.
Don't care what you are, as long as you're cool and respectful towards me, I'm going to be cool and respectful towards you. Now that we got that out of the way, because I know if this person sees my video, they're going to be like, this guy's transphobic, you know, to beat the transphobia allegations. This should be a nice introduction to who this individual is. This VTuber has repeatedly shared their desire to groom children. They even think children can consent to life-altering decisions, so where's the backlash from VTubers? This is
probably would get hated if I tried to fight back, because no one would take me seriously. Let's be honest, would you take me seriously? Probably not. That's the only reason why I didn't take involved, because no one would take me seriously. No, what else to do it? Because literally no one would trust a VTuber who's using a voice changer. So there you have it.
This is one of their tweets. Trans people will never leave kids alone. We want trans kids to be trans and give them the education and care we desperately need when we were younger. You know, we have this amazing YouTube video and thumbnail. Leave the kids alone. Leave kids alone. And this base Giga Chat responds with no.
Oh, stupid bitch.
Because I'm going to get asked this. Do I think children, right? Children/kids. Do I think children should start transitioning? No, I'm not a fan of that. I mean, how can you make that decision? How old do you have to be until you drink alcohol? 18? 21? How old do you have to be until you could get a gun? How old do you need to be to start getting tattoos? 18? But you can change your whole gender, or at least start when you're 8, 9.
Now, I'll pause a lot because this is a drama. This is my reaction. Now, I will pause it so I can give myself some air. Wait until you're freaking 18 so you can change your gender. At least 18, for me, 25. 25 until you fully decide to change your gender. That's where I put it, alright? Any younger than 18 is big no-no, because you don't know what you're doing with your life at that time.
10, 11, 12? Really? That's what we're doing? I think that's a bit weird. I don't think we should be allowing kids to do this. How is this person pushing for little kids to start transitioning, altering their whole body just because you felt like it that very day? You might change your mind later, but at that point, it's going to be too late.
Yeah, you can't change it back.
Upon kids this aggressively like this YouTuber is, it's weird. It's
Yep.
freaky. It's disgusting. Let them be a kid. Let them figure their shit out.
Yep.
Then go from there. If you're an adult and you want to chop your penis and at 4, go crazy, you know? But doing this and enabling this behavior on a child who doesn't know better, who legitimately thinks that they're Spider-Man, do you really want to give that
No,
kid
no,
full
wait,
control
no,
of everything
no.
he could do? It shouldn't be legal. I think
Yeah.
that's fucking insane. They also made this certified hood classic, forcing kids to wait till 18.
Oh my
is a bad
gosh.
thing. So this guy just wants every newborn, as soon as they say goo goo gaga, that means I want to change my gender. So, you know, cut my penis off while it's small. This is weird. I'm not here to call this person a pedophile or anything, but I mean, they're not helping. There is
Yep.
more harm done by not allowing a kid who is questioning their gender identity to not explore themselves and get the treatment recommended by experts. Who are the experts? Are you the experts? Doing all of this yapping has definitely made me thirsty. Thank God I have my, I don't know if you guys could hear that, but thank God I have my Advanced GG with me. A powder energy drink.
By the time, no, I'll pause it because I want to say something. There's gonna be a lot of pausing because it is very important too. I'm not hating anybody. I'm just saying, I'm putting a line when it involves children. When you involve like a life, changing thing, that's where you have to really decide when you're 18. Because at that point, would you really trust a kid who is 5 years old eating their own burgers decide, oh, I want to be a girl? I'm the prime example of that, actually. I wanted to change my gender when I was little, but then when I was growing older and fully understand what happens, I changed my mind. Like, literally, when I was a kid, I literally had nothing to do with my life, so...
Man, now let's get back.
I'm the prime example of that.
7. And, you know, they have an insane, disgusting parent like this individual. They're like, yeah, sweetie, you could transition. And then they're like, well, I don't like it anymore. I was a kid. I do think in 20 to 30 years, we're going to see the fallout of this. And I'm sure a lot of the kids will hate their parents. Why would you let a kid make a life-altering decision like this? Why are you so obsessed with this?
But then I didn't change my gender.
It's like, bro, chill out. Your hard drive, low-key, might need to be checked at this point.
Ew.
I think back to when I was a kid, and I'm like, I was so retarded. Well, I still am, but a lot more when I was a kid.
Same.
Dude, imagine if I had this crazy idea put in me by my mom or my dad that if I want to be a girl now, I could. And I'm like, okay, I'll just do it. And then many years later, I'm just like, why the fuck did you guys let me do that? I was a child. I did not know better. I was literally a kid eating crayons.
Yeah, the same
running
thing.
around like fucking Naruto. Why would you let me alter my whole body because I felt like it that day? You didn't want to be a fucking parent and tell me no. Wait, or we'll figure something out. You know what I mean? There's ways to go about it. Like, this is just low-key grooming children into being trans. A 9-year-old doesn't know shit. A 14-year-old who thinks they know everything, they don't know shit.
Yeah, I'm prime example of that.
This person thinks that minors should be able to consent
to medical treatment. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty.
What the frick? No, that puberty happens naturally. You can't stop it.
Like, seriously, if they can't consent to HRT, if they can't decide which puberty they want to go through, how do you, like, justify forcing them through puberty?
Now, the tweet they're referring to is this one right here. If minors can't consent to HRT, then they can't consent to puberty.
Then I don't consent to be freaking, I don't know, being born at that point. Because puberty happens naturally. I'm pausing a lot because this video is giving me a headache. Do you really want a child who doesn't know anything about life to change life? Frick no. I was like that. I want to change my gender at one point in my life. Did I regret it? No. Because now I understand what happens if I change my gender. And I would probably regret it right now. So, yeah. I'm a prime example. I've said it twice because people will skip the freaking video.
I had to read this like 2 times to make sure my brain wasn't fucking... This person is so fucked up mentally. They're fried. They're like, well, you know, if you can't consent to HRT, then you can't consent to going through puberty. Consent to going through your natural selected puberty is now something that is completely against your will? What is this argument?
Yeah, I don't understand like argument.
Consistent BS argument to compare apples to fucking watermelons. It's not the same thing, okay? With HRT, you're constantly injecting yourself with something to change who you are. And with puberty, it's something that we all go through. Am I supposed to give this person a lesson on puberty? I
Yeah.
better be getting paid extra for this, for giving a lecture on puberty. It is not the same thing, okay?
Yep.
Puberty is something that we all go through. That is a natural
Even I
thing.
went through
It's
it.
just a natural part of life. Why
Yeah,
are
it
we having
is.
this argument? This is legitimately a non-existent argument.
That's how you
and
grow
this
in
person's
life.
trying to make it an argument and a thing. It is not the same thing. What are you on about? You're fucking insane.
The reason I
amount
said
of mental
25
gymnastics
because
this person
25
had to
is
go
where you
through
get your
to
full
get to
brain.
this argument or this conclusion is beyond me. At that point, you might as well make the whole argument that you don't consent to being born and blame your dad for nutting inside your mom and bringing you to life. You are brainwashed.
Oh my gosh.
Okay? I don't know who brainwashed you, but you're fucking retarded.
The
I was
internet
willing to
brainwashed you, the
serve it
freaking
for
social
but
media.
You're just weird.
When these people talk about consent, it's always in a gross way. When I, for example, talk about consent, it is to like address the claims of like trans kids don't exist because they are too young to transition and like all these things. They shouldn't have HRT. It's the same with me saying, hey, you know, if a trans kid cannot consent to HRT, then why can they consent to puberty? How does that work? And then it's like, oh, that is so different. That's
Go
like
to
lunacy that you
science.
even like insinuate
Puberty.
that such a thing even
Go to
like
science.
exists.
Learn
That's crazy.
science, and that tells you
for this
everything.
kids can't consent to trans-affirming healthcare argument. I feel like people maybe
The
like,
wax
in
about
the
this. I don't
Yeah,
know
this
who.
argument isn't the argument you think it is. You're so fucking weird. I kind of feel like I need to shower after making this video. I can't deal with you guys. Why are we having this argument in the first place? Can
I don't
we
know.
please just leave the fucking kids alone?
Yeah.
Let them be kids and then let them figure their shit out later. Why are we forcing this upon them? Once again, this does not come from a political side. I'm not here to push an agenda. I'm just seeing all of this as a normal ass person. How did we get to this point? Where
I don't
we
know.
want to force transition onto little kids who don't know better, who are barely getting what life is, and you're like, well, you want to change your gender? Let's do it. You know, I support that 1000%. It's one thing to do it as an adult. It's a whole different thing to do it as a little kid when you don't know better. If we're going down this route, you could get a tattoo at any age. You could start drinking at any age. You could start smoking at any age. If a 5-year-old wants some beer and a cigarette, dude, just give it. And if he also wants to get a tattoo that very same day of a fucking Crayola,
They'll probably
in
regret
his
it in the
forehead,
future. They
let
would
him.
regret
Who
that
cares?
tattoo in
And
the
that very
future.
same day he also wants to transition, dude, fuck it. Let's just do it. Fuck it. If we're heading towards that, just let the kid be able to do whatever the fuck he wants. Don't even be a fucking parent. Just let him wander aimlessly throughout the universe. And I found this comment and it says, as a relatively normal trans person just trying to exist in society, it's people like you that really hold us back. This person is just making trans people look horrible and like creeps when that is not the case. There's cool trans people out there. There's trans people out there that are just trying to live their lives. But it's these type of individuals that fuck it up for everyone else. I found this comment.
Yeah, I am friends with trans people, so I know how they act. The some of my friends that are transgender, I have to walk on eggshells to not piss them off, so I literally had to unfriend them. Because at that point, that relationship was unhealthy for me. There's some cool transgender friends I have too. They're very supportive. I've friends with them like for like 4 years, except for those like easily get offended. Those are types are red flags. Those are ones that are not good friends if they easily get offended.
As well, as a trans myself, I don't agree that children should transition. Children are by default not smart enough yet to make their own decisions, let alone know what those decisions even led to. A random kid at 13 or younger shouldn't be thinking about this type of stuff, which I agree with. Puberty is a natural progression of
Yeah, it is.
It exists for a reason. Now, this is someone responding to them on Twitter, and they say, sorry, I'm a leftist, but I still think that the risk of infertility when it comes to HRT and puberty blockers is too big of a risk to give to teenagers. Let them go to therapy for short, but no HRT before 18. I think that's a valid take.
Yeah.
This person is delusional. This person should never be taken seriously.
Because a lot of these things that they are saying are from a fake point of like compassion. We don't hate trans people. We just want kids to make the right decisions. Love how this pretends to be shocked.
I guess it's wrong and you're insane and transphobic if you don't want little kids to start transitioning. The thing with these people is they only see black and white. That's all they know. That's all they see. And life isn't black and white. I wish it was that simple, okay? but it is not. And you're potentially harming the child a lot more.
Yeah,
when
you are.
enable his 7-year-old fucking thinking. But yeah, I don't know. That's all I have to say. This person, please check their hard drive. The amount of times they talk about kids on their Twitter and YouTube is a bit sus. I'm not here to call him a pedophile or anything, but
That's a good video. That's a good video by Insensitive Society. I'll post that in the description. I'll take my own take. I'll always say this. Leave children out of this. The reason I said 25. No, ask a professional who knows about human biology, because that's a good person to ask to. Because if you ask a person who generally knows about human bodies, then that's where they should tell you why puberty exists, or search it on Google. They will tell you directly. I enjoy all of your support. I hope you have a great day. And guys, if you're younger than 18 and you want to change gender, please don't. Make a full decision before you do that. Just wait until you're 18 or 25 to do what you want to do in life. If you don't know what you're going to do in your life in the future, then you shouldn't change your gender. If once you change your gender, you will forever be that way, because you can't reverse that effect. There are negative sides to that, and there are real database on that, and you should guys research on that. And it's very important to you all to research every information you know before you trust everything. Anyways, see y'all later.